Advanced text to speech. The next step is to get a list of previously searched items from the speech to text tool. As you will need to store the last item searched and add that to a list, you will need to create two variables. Features to add on the Design tab. In addition to the items used in the simple text to speak app, list viewer. Block to add. First, initialize variables. This will start and create a variable to store to the last entered word when speak is clicked. These variables should be set to blank at the start. A second variable is created and marked as an empty list to store a list of previously searched words. Second, when block. Like the first example, this will say the enter text aloud, but this time it will be stored in a variable so that it can also be added to the list. A. Set. This will set the name variable to be whatever text was entered into the text entry box. B. Say. This is the prompt to say aloud the text using the name variable as the source of what to say. C. In list. Get the variable list and insert the name variable into the top of that list as the first item. D. Set the list viewers text items to be the values stored in the list variable. More complex translator. This is optional if you wish to try it. This code allows the user to select multiple languages from a list. A variable first needs to be created to store the language. Once it has been selected from the list is set as hidden by default but will show when the Select Languages button is selected. When a language is set, the item value is stored in the variable. In this example, the language format for the translator must be in each country's initial code, like R for Arabic. So we must add in some if statements to set the appropriate code as the variable, depending on which language was selected from the list. Features to add on the Design tab. In addition to the items used in the Simple Translator app, list viewer. Set with visible turned off and languages like Spanish and French added as text items. Select language button. Blocks. First, create a stored variable to hold the selected language. 2. You can reuse the code from the earlier Simple Translator but change the output language to instead be our language variable. This will instead store the selected language from the list. Third, when the Select Language button is clicked, set the list viewer so that it is visible. Fourth, when an item is clicked in the list viewer, if the language text selected in Spanish must watch what was entered in the design view. Set the variable as its language code. ES in this example. Repeat for the other languages listed by using the duplicate option. B. Set the Select Language button so its text now displays the chosen language. C. Once that is clicked, hide the list viewer again. Full advanced version of the text-to-speak app. Have a look at this further advanced version of the text-to-speak app. Look through the code to see if you can spot which this is doing additionally. Scratch. Scratch is a block-based coding tool designed for beginners and education contexts which allows you to create games, animations, and interactive stories. Scratch allows you to control things on the screen, such as getting the sprite to move or a sound to play. To use Scratch, you sign up for a free account on Scratch's website and then start building code in your web browser. You can create your own coding project or view and remix other people's to see how they work. Coding with Scratch exercises. In these exercises, you will get the chance to try out using Scratch and then use it to build a project that focuses on interactivity in some way.